Pretty Little Liars, Summer School, Episode 6, Hell House. All right, so a little nod to Hell House LLC, since it is outright stated that this... What's this place called again? The
Redemption House.
No, not that.
Oh.
The church that they go to. Whatever the hell it's called. Mary's or something like that.
I don't remember.
She's like, no, I didn't rent it to them. I rented it to an LLC. So, you know, we're definitely, once again, we're dealing with a lot of horror fans who are sneaking in any kind of little nod. There's a bunch of them this episode, right? We get a talk like usual, the Christian and Tabby talk, and he's talking to her about, you know, all the movies set in movie theaters, from popcorn to, you know, whatever. He goes through his list, and we get a House of the Devil poster, and then a House of the Devil reference, and, you know, as I said, there's definitely a lot of, like, horror fans that are working on this show.
Yeah,
that are trying to sneak in as much like nods and winks to us horror fans as humanly possible, while still making this a Pretty Little Liars show.
Yeah.
Okay. So we start this out, and Noah is, you know, she's recovering. They're having their powwow, and then she returns to straight up lie to her boyfriend, Sean. Noah is so unlikable this season with the shit she's doing to Sean. It's crazy. This episode illustrates it perfectly. First, she's being hunted and potentially killed, was saved by Jen, and then when her boyfriend's like, oh, this and that, she's like, oh, I didn't break in these shoes.
You know,
it's like,
there was also something that was... I don't know if it was the first time it was revealed. I thought it was, because I didn't know this was the case. But, like, we knew that she was with Jen when she was in prison, but I didn't realize she was still dating Sean when she was in juvie.
Yeah, we just got that revealed, too.
So she's cheated on him, like, multiple times with this girl.
Yeah.
Which does make it even worse.
And it's funny because she'll tell Jen what's really happening.
Yeah.
But not Sean.
Well, because Jen's the one that she's cheating with. So it's like...
We hold the secrets together.
Yeah,
but
that's why.
This is outright her being like, I trust Jen, the shady-ass girl who has robbed multiple people now.
Yeah.
Went to jail multiple times. Or my boyfriend, who has been there for me through everything, who gave up all of his money, to try to save my... You know, the girl that I'm currently screwing him behind his back with. Mm-hmm. The one who defends her every time his mom tries to say anything about her. Like, you're going to trust this dude or that chick over this dude?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Noah. Noah is so ridiculous this year. So we find out, that this place has been rented. And that they're going to put on Redemption House, a.k.a. a Hell House, which is explained to us by Ash. Mm-hmm. This is very hurtful to him. And, I mean, we just kind of get this, like, this duology of, like, the Hell House and then the Pride Parade.
Yeah.
Kind of party that's going on. So, where is Wes? And I know you have a lot of thoughts on Christian calling him a poser for making masks.
Yeah, I didn't like that scene because, like, I know Wes is kind of like, I don't want to call him a bad, like, he's not the bad guy, but he's not the greatest guy for sure. Like, he's definitely not a cool dude in a lot of ways, but he's, the one thing that we know he is a horror fan.
Yeah.
Like, but whether or not he's pretentious about it or gatekeeping or whatever, like, he can be those things and also be a horror fan. So when they go into his, like, apartment, which is, like, an office building turned into an apartment, we were laughing at that. And they see these masks, they, like, Christian saying that he's, like, copying him and that they're, like, he's making these, like, bad knockoff masks or whatever. I was really confused on that because it would make sense that he would also collect masks as a horror fan. And we have no reason to think that this is like a new thing for him. You know? Yeah. And I mean, whether, like, obviously, yeah, Christian's masks are better. But it's like, I don't know, people can have hobbies and
sure.
They don't have to be like as good as, like, you know, somebody who's professional at it or whatever. So I just thought that was a really, like, lame scene. I didn't like it, even though, like, I know Wes isn't, like, the greatest guy, but it was just like, you could find something else to be, like,
shitty about.
Yeah, versus, like, the one thing that the show is about, you know, is horror movies.
Only I make masks. Anybody else is just copying me. I'm the only person that's ever made masks and ever has the right to make masks. Right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
And also, like, even let's say he did start making the masks after Christian came.
Yeah.
Maybe he got inspired by him.
Yep. Which is, yeah.
That's like, you know what I mean? Like,
flattering.
People acting like it's or him acting like it's a copying thing is just, it's very weird.
Well, sure. I mean, that's like you or me showing each other anything and then you liking it and me calling you a poser.
Oh, sure. Right? Yeah.
That's, oh my God.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous. So they go into Hell House and all of their sins are on display, whether it's Noah's mom's drug addiction or Tabby and Imogen's night of being date raped, or what was the one for, was it Farron?
It wasn't really for her, but it was basically her ex-boyfriend and the
gay guys.
Yeah,
in
that's
the bedroom?
like the one thing that like really triggered her because
sure,
it's like
they're using her boyfriend who's a dancer.
Yeah, and then the other guy that's like on.
There was one other one before that, I thought, where they for Mouse. It was it was like the you know the kid on the internet being you know groomed by the dad and all of that stuff. Now. Is that known? Is that like well-known knowledge that that she was talking to someone online like that? Is that or is it just all coincidental? Because it feels very targeted at them.
Oh,
but if they don't come, then it's not really for anything other than these are technically sins, but they're so directed at them specifically that it's like. They have to come for this to even be relevant. But who's deciding that?
They are directed at them specifically, but they're also broad enough of like relating to teens in general. I feel like
I get that, but
I think that they were planning on them going. Because
who is in charge of writing it? Like, why are they targeting them specifically?
I definitely think that Kelly is like had something to do with it. I don't know if Kelly knows about Mouse. She would be the person that I would think would know.
But why are they targeting them specifically? Like that they're is it just coincidental that it's all these like things? But getting drunk at a party and getting yourself you know date raped or whatever bullshit you want to throw at people, that's a pretty common thing. I don't know why getting drunk at a party and getting raped is sinful. I guess because you're drinking. Like, I don't know exactly what that is. You're allowing yourself to be inebriated to the point where you can't make decisions for yourself, so you're asking for it. Like, I don't really know what they're saying there. I don't think any of these things in the movie are... I don't believe in sin. But, like, the only thing that I agree with is, like, yeah, kids shouldn't talk to strangers on the internet.
Well, yeah.
And you shouldn't kill yourself. Like, I mean, you have every right to do so, but I really hope that you seek help before you make such a insane decision as ending your own life. So like those things, I'm like, yeah, okay. Don't let kids talk to fucking weird men on the internet who are trying to get them to meet up with them. Also, you know, you probably shouldn't get super blitzed at a party and falling all over the place with a bunch of random strangers.
Yeah, but
not because it's like you're deserving of it, but it's like you need to be smarter than that, right? You can't allow yourself to be in that position.
If you have something given to you, like if you're spiked, you don't have any choice over what happens there.
Of course.
And I mean, yeah, like I just think that the whole thing is obviously like, I liked this episode probably the best out of this season so
Same.
far.
Yeah. It was entertaining.
It was entertaining, but I also really liked the juxtaposition of like really extreme, like, and they're not even extreme, but like common like religious views about like behavior, whether it's I mean like being gay or, you know, like drug use or whatever, and like that juxtaposition with the Pride where it was like everybody being supportive and like just genuinely like celebrating like existence and people being in love and different and all of that. So I liked that.
Yeah, but like obviously like having people have awareness of a lot of the things that are going on here outside of the gay shit. Like, who gives a fuck about that? But like, yeah, should you become a drug addict? No. Should you go to parties and get absolutely blitzed to the point where you don't even remember the night, putting yourself in very vulnerable positions? Probably not the best idea. I mean, that one's definitely not your fault. I just think that it's being naive because of what we know of the world. Right? So you don't want to make yourself vulnerable like that as a woman to go to a party and get absolutely hammered to the point where you could wake up and somebody could be fucking you. It sucks. It's a reality of the world, but you got to be more, you know, akin to the world than that. Right? And that's something people should learn. Like, don't allow yourself to get that inebriated in a public setting where things could happen to you. It sucks, but it is what it is. Like, there's messages that they're promoting here, like suicide, but it's like they're handling it, of course, in all the wrong ways. It's like, oh, the problem here is that what you're doing is sinful and it's going to lead you going hell. And it's like, no, what's happening here is that these people need acceptance, love, and help because they're a drug addict, because they've been abused. And I find it fascinating that it's the girl who's getting drunk that's the sinner, and not as much focusing on the guy who's raping them as the sinner. So it's like all the fucking focus and all of the like what they're trying to say is completely out of whack in here. And that's just religion in general for me. But when I'm watching this, I'm just sitting there going, okay, like I get that a lot of these things aren't the best and lead to a lot of pain, but this ain't the fucking way to approach it. So when Imogen finally goes into that last room and Kelly crosses the line of lines, she pretends to be like somebody who's committed suicide in her mom's room in a bed that would be like her mom's bed. And she's acting for them. She knows who's there. She's looking right at them. Yeah. You know, I thought when she got up and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. At first, I thought she was like apologizing. Oh shit, they made me do this. And then she like continued with the bit of like, I don't want to go to hell. That's it for Kelly. Oh yeah. That's it for Kelly. Any redemption that she had or whatever that I was going to buy into, I'm fucking done with her. Yeah. That awful. Was crossing a line beyond a line. That is fucked up beyond. So Kelly is dead to me. Noah is pretty much there at this point for me. She's crossed too many lines at this point with everything that she's doing with Jen. And I'm just kind of done with them. And then Farron is annoying the fuck out of me with Henry, right? Just back and forth, waffling back and forth. He just keeps fucking up and she keeps taking him back. Now, that's just like a character flaw in her. For somebody who just continues to keep like going back.
That's not her boyfriend.
Oh, that's not her boyfriend.
No, that's Kelly's.
That's Kelly's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. So now she's got a thing with him.
Okay. Yeah. But that's just the same thing. Okay. Sorry, you're right. It is that guy. But regardless, once again, it's just like that's not fertile ground. Yeah. To grow something from.
They're all making silly mistakes and decisions in their and not all of them, I should say, but that's like a very common thing because of the teen drama aspect in this show. Yeah.
Well, so and then of course we've got the moment. I actually really liked this moment. I actually thought there was a couple fist pumping moments in this episode, which was fun and cathartic. One being Imogen going out, grabbing an axe and cutting the power to the house.
I liked that a lot, yeah.
That was really cool. I was like, yeah, all right, go girl.
Yes.
Them deciding to like scare everyone in the house and all that shit was like, it was cute, and they had the Lady Gaga's like Bloody Mary song playing, and they were going up and they were doing their like music video of them like posing in different ways up the stairs. It was all silly, but it's so unbelievable. Why they didn't wear cloaks with like, their masks? They're just like regular, cute, young chicks with like rubber masks on. No one is gonna run out.
I also really like that there was like these like deep
growls,
guttural growls happening.
It's like the shark in Jaws 4 all of a sudden.
It was weird. I was like, where are those coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that obvious. I mean, we know why that's there, but it's just I was looking at the reality of that scene and being like, what? No one's running out of there, especially since there's already multiple demons throughout Redemption House in the background that is there to scare people. Yeah. So one standing in the corner with the ho 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 laugh, and then another one running up and being like, oh, like they're not going to run out. They're just going to think it's part of the gig, right? And I know it's supposed to be the actors that are like, this isn't part of it. But some like 5-foot girl in like revealing clothing with like, you know, fucking cleavage hanging out of her top and everything comes up to me with like a rubber mask on. You really think I'm going to be like, oh my God, and run away? This is never going to happen. Now, it would have been more believable had they run in there wearing some kinds of outfits, just covering their bodies and making themselves look more imposing or threatening. But that's not this show, right? They're cute, young, hot chicks who are like, they're always going to be about their image. And that's like, this show's all about the visuals and you know, that's the show. It is what it is. I found it really silly. Anyway, the pastor was killed, stabbed in the eye. No one's found his body yet.
Not yet.
Imogen going and confronting Kelly in her house, slamming the door in front of the mom and telling her like, you know, Kaylee was saying it was melodramatic. It was. But it was another fist pump. Like, fuck yeah.
I liked it.
I'm done with Kelly. Destroy this bitch.
Yeah, I think that Imogen had a understandable reaction.
Sure.
So
she ain't taking shit from no one.
No.
Now, the Noah Jen thing, once again, it is revealed that, and this is so beyond screwed up. So Jen robs Sean's mom's house to pay Sean back. Sean comes there defending Noah because the mom accuses Noah. And she's not far off.
Yeah, she's not.
She's not far off. Noah goes immediately because she was going to break up with Sean because Jen had, you know, floated this idea of a thruple. Mm-hmm. Now, Kaylee and I got into a little bit of a discussion of whether or not that meant they all fuck or they just kind of like rent her out for the night. Like, who gets her tonight? All right, tag team. Like, all right, you take her tonight. I'll take her the next night. Or we all hang out, and we all fuck her, but we never touch each other. Whatever. I mean, there's so many different ways I guess it could go, and we'll never know. I think the argument, though, is that Jen does appear to be very gay. And I don't think she would have any interest in physically being with Sean, but I don't know. I guess the male in me was like, oh, okay, this isn't a bad deal.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all that happens. So then she was going to break up with him. That thwarted her plans. She immediately goes, confronts Jen, and then she's like, did you rob the house? And she admits to it pretty much outright immediately.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little almost humorous banter between them where Jen's kind of like, like this. She's like, can you not, you know, rob anyone or whatever? And she's like, I gotta take care of this. And she's like, well, when are you gonna decide? It's been so long. It's been like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And she already saw her with another chick at a party, like 2 seconds after they went on break, which means she has no commitments. She's not even thinking about her. It's like, I'm already on to another chick. And Sean worships the ground she walks on. Why is this a difficult decision? But then she finds out that the dude that bailed her out, she goes and robs his parents which then gets blamed on her. She lies to her boyfriend once again to then go to Jen and tell her, I'm still deciding, I'll decide tomorrow, and you still are in the running. How the fuck is Jen still in the running? At this point.
I don't know.
How much more bad news do you have to be like, you know what? Out of you two, now she does not deserve Sean.
No,
I think she deserves Jen. So Jen might be the more viable option realistically for her, and maybe that's what she thinks. I guess I'm answering my own question. She thinks she deserves Jen because she's a piece of shit, and so is Jen. Was that what you were going to say?
I mean, it's close enough.
What were you going to say?
No, I mean, I was just going to say, like, I don't know. I was just going to be like, I feel like her reaction was very unbelievable. Like, after finding out, that Jen was robbing Sean's house and everything, like, I just don't buy it. I think that's poor writing on that end.
Yeah.
So.
And then the reveal at the end here, which was something I called in the episode, as soon as Imogen got on the bed with Bloody Rose Waters and, like, she started to peel away the mask, I looked over at Kaylee and was like, it's her mom.
Yeah.
Instantly. I just knew that's what they were going to do. I knew it because she was in her mom's room, in her mom's bed, and she's dealing with so much of the mom grief and trauma. And I've seen this trope before where it's like the dead person, it's not possible. How could they be alive? And it's like someone from your family or whatever. It's instantly, I was just like, oh, it's her fucking mom. But I also said and hypothesized that they're going to try to pull a Happy Birthday to Me where Christian made a realistic bust mask, like impression of Imogen's mom's face. And because it's like low lighting and there's blood on it and she gets like a little bit of it open, it's enough to distort the visual. And it was purposely done, right? She purposely like was choking her and letting her rip at the mask so that she could get a look at her. Now, Christian and Johnny are both outside filming when this is happening. So once again, they're off the hook for being the killer that's attacking. Not an accomplice. They can still be an accomplice, but they're clearly, it's never any of these people. Mm-hmm. Right? So it could be her mom. 100%. It could just be her mom. Outright.
I guess.
Right? But I'm going to go with it's a mask of her mom's face because we don't see it.
Yeah.
She sees it. And I know that's kind of a bit of a writing moment for it's like, we're going to get revealed through Imogen, especially since we haven't seen her mom in a while. And I think a lot of us would be like, who the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The reveal wouldn't be as obvious to us. But I also think it might be there to hide the fact that it's a mask. And that the fact that we don't ever see it will be like revealed later so that we can't ever like compare to be like, that ain't no fucking mask. Like when they try to sell that later and be like, nah, I saw that shit. That wasn't no mask. Right? So I have a feeling that it isn't her mom, that it is actually a mask made by Christian because it's already stated in this very episode that Wes now has some focus on him because he's a mask maker.
Yeah.
But she specifically says in it, and they keep drawing attention to this, his masks are nowhere near as good as yours.
Yeah.
You are amazing at mask making. And I am telling you, they're going to pull a Happy Birthday to Me. And that is a mask of her mom's face. You watch.
Yeah, I think it's a good hypothesis.
Her mom is fucking dead.
Yeah, I don't know
see
her mom's
how
alive unless they're gonna do like she had a twin.
She faked her. Yeah. Oh God, you really think?
I don't know.
You really think?
I don't like that. I like the mask idea more.
The identical twin.
I don't like that. I think that one. I like the mask idea better.
Yeah. But it could be the mom. I mean, they definitely could go down that route. I mean, this show is as close to a soap opera as you get anyway. And soap operas do this kind of shit all the time.
That's true.
You know, so many shows that we watch where the kid, you know, somebody comes back like freaking Han in the Fast and the Furious movies or something. And you're like, bro, I watched your car get hit and blow up.
Yeah.
You did not get out of that shit. I turned into Annie Wilkes there. You didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car. Yeah, I don't see how she's alive, but we'll see. I'm still saying Christian. I still think he's making the masks and this stuff. So that's that. But yeah, a better episode. It's still fucking ridiculous. But that's this show. But this felt more in line with season 1.
Yes.
And more in line of like what I enjoy about this. This was like
I agree.
the silliness, but in a fun way.
I agree. Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. Let us know what you guys think. And we'll see you in the comments.